When we look past the physical minting of currency, the idea of value begins to look like a shared human abstraction. This $100 bill is a blend of cotton and linen. It carries high value solely because a critical mass of people agreed it should. In the 1630s, the Dutch decided a single tulip bulb was worth the price of a grand estate. Value is determined by consensus, not chemistry. In 1985, the Coca-Cola Company risked a century-old legacy because its leadership miscalculated how that consensus actually works. The conflict began in the early 1980s. Pepsi, Coke's eternal rival, had moved into an aggressive posture. Their Pepsi Challenge campaign was simple. They handed unmarked cups of cola to civilians and asked them to choose their favorite in a blind taste test. As the testing continued, Coke's market share began to slide. While their competitors gained ground, the industry leader saw its dominance slowly eroding. Executives at Coca-Cola headquarters watched this narrowing gap and responded with a level of panic that would redirect the entire company. They made a decision that would have been unthinkable years prior. They would scrap their original 99-year-old recipe. The fear of losing a blind taste test made them lose sight of why the product was valuable to the public. The company spent 4 years and $4 million developing a sweeter, more modern formula. They tested the new liquid on 200,000 consumers. This chart shows the result. The data indicated the new syrup was a statistically superior product. Backed by this massive pile of evidence, the executives felt their plan was bulletproof. On April 23, 1985, they officially launched New Coke. These executives toasted their success, confident the market would respond to the improved flavor. Instead, they were met with an immediate and visceral public outcry. A data set can confirm that a liquid is sweeter. It cannot predict a massive emotional reaction from a consumer base. Every single day, headquarters received 40,000 angry letters and phone calls from customers. One man from Alabama wrote that changing the formula was a desecration of the American flag. Another caller described the launch as the saddest day of their life. Within weeks, these individuals formed organized protest groups to demand the return of the original beverage. Hoarding became a national phenomenon. One individual in Los Angeles purchased 500 cases of the original stock to ensure his supply wouldn't run out. While it looked like mania at the time, history would soon prove those instincts were correct. The public was not reacting to a recipe change. They were mourning the loss of a cultural artifact. By every clinical and objective metric, New Coke actually tasted better. That fact did not matter. The company had failed to account for the emotional weight people placed on the original formula. Coca-Cola was liquid nostalgia. For many, it was tied to the domestic safety of a childhood kitchen or opening a grandmother's refrigerator. A sweeter flavor profile cannot replace a decades-old family memory. On July 11, 1985, just 77 days after the launch, the company surrendered. They announced they would reintroduce the original recipe as Coca-Cola Classic. The announcement was so significant that national networks interrupted regular daytime programming to deliver the news. ABC News anchor Peter Jennings delivered the update to the nation, treating the corporate reversal as a major historical event. This news alert was considered so critical that it preempted the scheduled broadcast of the soap opera General Hospital. The Coca-Cola Company learned that value is not something a business can dictate. It is something a culture assigns.